Hi, Laura here and welcome to today's beginner yoga workout. So we're going to get started in mountain pose. So if you remember mountain pose, our feet are together, shoulders back and down, abs pulled in, and we're going to turn our palms forwards and we're going to breathe in and breathe out. Now as you breathe in through your nose. Reach those arms up, breathing out. One more time, breathing in. This time we're going to dive down, abs pulled in, so you're supporting your lower back, engaging your abs. Bend your knees here if you wish. And then from here, flat back. So really reaching out, so chest away from your hips, your butt and your hips pulling away from your chest. And then forward fold, bending those knees. And you're going to step back into plank. If this is too much, take it into tabletop. And we're going to hold for a breath, breathing in and breathing out. And then from here, we're going to all come down into tabletop. So abs pulled in, so really drawing that belly button in. And then from here, we're going to breathe in. Pull the chest away from your hips, hips away from your chest. So you really lengthen before you arch, and then you're going to curl up. One vertebrae at a time, keeping those shoulders apart. And again, breathing in. Really lengthen before you arch, breathing out. And then back to tabletop. And then from here, you're going to take your left leg back and bring your right arm forwards. Now you may wish to stay here, that's fine. If you want a little bit more, you can take the leg off the floor, and if you want even more, you can take the hand off the floor. And really trying to lengthen here, so reaching your hand one way and reaching your leg back the other way. And then hand and foot come back to the floor, and you're going to take the other one, so extend the right leg back this time, left arm forwards. So option to stay here, an option to just take the leg off the floor, or an option to take both. And when you're here, really trying to lengthen, so reaching the hand one way, reaching the foot the other way, and then coming back down. We're going to try that one more time, and I'm going to add some cows in. So an option to stay here, here, lifting one leg, lifting one hand, or lifting both. And then wherever you are, you can try an extended option of taking the leg out to the side, bringing it back, and then bringing it all back to the floor. I've got cramp on my feet, so I'm just going to curl my toes under. I'm going to try the other side. So that's a nice little tip for you if you get cramp because you're over pointing your feet, then feel free to flex them, curl them. So you're going to take one leg to the side, bringing it back in and coming back together. From here, we're going to take it back to plank. Now if plank is too much for you, you can stay here in tabletop, or if you struggle with your wrists and your elbows, you can take it down onto your elbows. So you're here, onto your forearms, so you're here. So it takes some pressure off your shoulders, elbows and wrists. Otherwise, we're all going to go into full plank. So here, now an option, you can put your leg onto the floor and you're going to come round into a side plank here. Otherwise, you can stay in plank and you can come round into side plank. Try and make sure your shoulder is in line, and hand up, or hand reaching, or hand on your hip. And then we're going to come back to plank. So remember, you can stay in tabletop. Remember, you've got an option to put your knee on the floor and come round, which is more of a beginner variation, so by all means stay in that position. Otherwise here, you're going to turn around and you can do whatever you want with your top hand on your hip, up in the air, reaching, and coming back to plank. So from here, knees down, and we're going to take it into child's pose. So knees are apart, bum is sort of sat down onto your ankles, and hands reach forwards, head down to the floor. So at any point, if you get tired or things get too much, always come back to child's pose and just hold that pose, and then jump back into the next pose when you're ready. So from here, we're going to come back into tabletop, tuck our toes under, and we're going to lift our hips up and go into downward dog. So really pushing through your hands, extending, ears in line with your arms, hips up to the ceiling. So you're here in downward dog, and then when that feels good, if you want to do a little bit more, you can extend the legs, and then you can bend one leg and the other, and again, and again, and then again, hips. So try and really push and lengthen through those arms, ears in line with your shoulders, trying to get your chest down to the floor, and then try and extend those legs and get your heels into the floor. There's quite a lot to think about, so don't worry if you can't do it all at once. Now an option, you can either stay here or you can take one leg up in the air, and then you're going to bring it through, engage the core, get a little bit of a core workout, and then bring the foot flat onto the floor, keeping the other one toes off the floor. So this is going into crescent pose. You may wish to stay here. You can take it into a little bit more, hands here, or when you're ready you can come all the way up. Try and tuck your tail under, abs pulled in, hands up. So you can either have your hands up or to the side. If they're at the side, think about lengthening, really opening up your chest, or if that's too much, just focus on your legs, hands on your hips, and you're just going to hold it here and try and sink down a little bit lower as you can. Okay, and then we're going to take our hands to the floor, so both hands on the floor, other leg comes back. From here, knees are going to come onto the floor, and we're going to bend our elbows, feet flat on the floor, shoulders back, lengthen the feet, and we're going to come up into baby cobra, and then back down. And then from here, tuck the toes under, keep your knees onto the floor and push up, and then up into downward dog, other leg up. So remember, you can keep the foot on the floor if you want, and then just bring it through when you're ready. So stay here if you want and just hold it. Come up to here, or bring those arms all the way up and focus on extending, rotating those shoulders, keeping the shoulder blades away. Okay, and then hands back to the floor, back into a plank, knees onto the floor. We're going to come down, baby cobra, breathing in. You can come all the way up into up dog if you want, and then from here tuck your toes under, downward dog, and then from here you're going to bend your legs, glance forwards, and you're just going to step your feet in, keep a bend in your knees, and we're going to go into a flat back. So really thinking about lengthening from your butt, lengthening from your chest, almost overarching to try and get that flat back. And then forward fold, let the head hang, bend at your knees if you want, so you can get more of a forward fold and it doesn't pinch at your back. And then from here, you're going to bend your legs, keep your knees together. You can stay here with your fingers on the floor, or you can come up into child's pose. Now this should not pull or hurt your lower back. If it does, come up a little bit higher and make sure you're pulling in the tummy to support the back. And then you're just going to stand up and relax those arms down. Okay, so hopefully that feels quite good. We're going to go into a little bit of balancing. So starting in mountain pose, foot up, we're going to turn the leg to the side, and we're going to go into tree pose. Now you may wish to just stay here, that's fine, or you can bring your foot up here. Just make sure it stays off your knee. So you're either going to have it below or you're going to have it higher up. I always find that when mine's here it starts sliding and then I've got it on my knee joint, so I quite like keeping it here. So make sure you turn the hip out to start with, and then hold, find a position and try and find a spot to focus on, and that will help you. An option, keep your hands on your hips, or in prayer pose, or what I prefer to do is having my hands up and I'm reaching. Okay, so place your foot back down, shake it out if you want to, and then we're going to try the other one. So lift your foot up, turn it out, and then take it into position. So either keep it on the floor or bring it off the floor. So in tree pose, really engage the abs, find something to spot. Either keep your hands on your hips, or in prayer pose, or up. Now if you really want to test your balance, you can close your eyes that's going to make it even more challenging. So you just listen to your body, see what it wants to do, and just work at a level that works for you. Okay, coming down. Okay, so this time you are going to put your right hand up to the ceiling, and we are going to bend our right leg, and we're going to lift it back, and we're going to grab the inside of the foot. I'm going to turn to the side slightly. So right hand, palm facing the ceiling, lift the right foot off the floor. You're going to take it back. If you really struggle, find something to help you balance, like a chair or a radiator. Otherwise, try and do it on your own. So you could stay here, and then you're gradually going to have the arm out, looking along the fingers and lifting up. And this is our dancer pose. So this is testing your balance. And coming back. Okay, we're going to try it on the other side. So this time, left hand up to the ceiling. You're going to use your left leg, so that's the one that's going to come off the floor. Lift it up, get it into position, grab the inside of your foot, arm out. That should help you balance. Look along the fingers, and then just take it to a position that feels comfortable for you. Don't overdo it, don't overstretch. You're here to kind of get your body moving, get yourself feeling more flexible, feeling good. You're not here to push things and damage things. Okay, coming together. Alright, we're going to go back into mountain pose. Turning the palms forwards, breathing in. And if you want, you can grab your hands together and just do a little reach up to the ceiling, a little arch back. Otherwise, you don't have to do that, that's fine. And you're going to dive down, engage your nose, abs supporting your lower back. Relax your neck. Bend your knees if you need to. Flat back. Back into a forward fold. Hands onto the floor. We're going to step back. Now, option, if you want to make it a bit more advanced, you can keep your knees off the floor. Otherwise, put your knees on the floor. We're going to bend the elbows all the way down to the floor. Shoulders back. Baby cobra. And then tuck the toes under. Pushing up. Downward dog. And you're going to step your right leg forward, and this time you're going to put your left foot on the floor. Make sure all your toes stay on the floor, and we're going to come up into warrior one. You're going to put your right hand on your hip and bring your left arm forward, so that's going to help you try and turn those hips and square the hips. Try and sink and melt down into those legs. When you're ready, bringing both arms up, and then you're going to turn into warrior two. So now you're facing forwards, leg is turned out, knee is behind your big toe, and looking along that front arm into warrior two. And from here we're going to breathe in, reaching those arms up, and then we're just going to relax, melt and sink further down. And then from here you're going to reach forward with that right arm, put the arm on your hip, hand up to the ceiling, and then reaching. And if it feels okay in your neck, you can look up to your arm. If not, just stay looking forwards or looking down, whatever feels comfortable. Coming back into warrior two. We're going to straighten the legs. We're going to turn both forwards, and we're going to breathe in, and we're going to forward fold or dive down. Relax that head and neck. That should feel kind of quite good, especially if you hold a lot of tension in your shoulder and your neck. And then onto your fingertips, breathing out, really flat back, lengthening, and then diving down. And then hands on your hips, leading with your chest, breathing in, and then as you breathe out, extend those arms. So we're going to go into warrior two on the other side. So turn in the leg. So from here, turning the leg, turning out the hip, and then bending that leg. So we're nice and relaxed into warrior two. Really try and think about lengthening those arms, looking along that finger. And then from here we're going to breathe in, and then breathe out into warrior two again. And then you're going to lead with your left arm, reach, 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 reach. Hand on your thigh, and then you're going to come up. And then you can reach over if you want, looking up into the eye of your elbow, or just looking down, whatever feels okay for you, and on your neck. And then from here you're going to come back to warrior 2. This time we're going to face the other way. So you're doing warrior 1, and this should be warrior 1 on the other side. And try and square those hips, bend that front leg. But as with everything with yoga, just don't over push. Just relax into things. Take your time. Some of these poses can take years to master. And it's not about, you know, really being bendy and flexible and going into the poses. It's doing what's right for your body. Okay, then hands onto the floor. Take the leg back. So we're into plank. Bend your knees if you want. You're going to go down to the floor, breathing in. And then this time we're going to push up into downward dog. And then from here, bend your knees onto the floor. And then gradually come to sitting. So you should now be facing me into a sort of a comfy pose, into a sitting pose. Okay, so you're going to reach one arm up, other hand on the floor, and with the hand that's on the floor, just sort of let the arm go down, and you're going to reach up and over. And you're just going to try and keep that hip bone still on the floor, so don't let it come up. So this should just feel gentle. So from here you can reach a bit further with that arm, and really turn and look up. And then from here, put the hand on the floor, and just take a couple of breaths here. And then hands forwards. And then back to the middle. So other one, arm up, and then just come into the side. Keeping that hip bone grounded, and then you may wish to just sort of lean over a little bit more, look up to the arm. Again, just taking it to where it feels comfortable for you, not overstretching, not overdoing it. And then coming down, and then coming back to the middle, and coming up. This time, one hand in front, one hand behind, and you're going to breathe in. And as you breathe out, just gently rotate and gently look over that shoulder almost. Again, just taking it to where it feels comfortable and natural for you. And then look to the front and come round. And again, this time the other hand in front, other one behind, breathing in. And then just gently breathe out and rotate. And then looking forwards and come into the front. Okay, so we are now going to lengthen our legs, and from here you may wish to just sort of pull your bum cheeks, so it forces you to sort of tilt a little bit and be sat on your hip bones, and then this naturally leads you in to our position here. And so you shouldn't feel any tension or pulling here in your lower back. Make sure you're hinging from your hips, and make sure your abs are engaged so you're supporting that lower back. And again, just take it to where it feels comfortable and feels good for you. And if you want, you can breathe in, close your eyes, and as you just say the word relax and breathe out, relax. You're just going to relax into that position a bit more. Okay, coming up. So now we're going to lie down onto our backs. And you are going to put one leg on top of the other leg. So I've got my right leg on top of my left. And you may wish to just stay here. If you want a little bit more, take that supporting leg, so your left leg off the floor. And you may wish to just stay here, beginning to feel stretch in your glutes. If you want some more, you can grab your hand between the two legs and grab your shin and just relax here. And you can move around a little bit and feel that stretch. Feel it working in the outside of that glute. And then put the foot on the floor, both feet on the floor, take the other leg over this time, and then take it to where it feels good for you. So it might be just here, it might be just off the floor, or grabbing. And again, you might want to just move in that position a little bit. So you should be really feeling that stretch in the outside of your glute. Okay, and then feet back onto the floor. And then we're going to go into bridge pose. So feet flat on the floor, ankles sort of close to your bum. And you are going to lift, so you're going to engage your abs and you're going to lift and push your hips up. And we're just going to hold it. You can breathe through it. So when some of these poses feel a bit tough and challenging, don't be tempted to just hold your breath. That's when actually you need to breathe. And then we're going to come down. We'll try that one more time. You're going to breathe, feet by your bum, and you're going to lift your hips up. So really push through your heels, lift your hips up, and then what you can do if you want a little bit more is grab your hands together and use them into the floor. So that's your bridge. And then you're going to come down. And then we're going to sit up. Okay, so from here we're going to go into a little bit of core work. So we're going to curl down, abs pulled in, so really pulling that belly button in and keeping your hips square. We're going to lift both legs up, so we're forming a reverse tabletop, so we're 90 degrees with our legs and engaging the abs, keeping the hips as still as possible. We're going to drop one leg to the floor, very gently touch the floor, and then coming up, and then the other one. So imagine there's a crisp or like an eggshell or something very fragile on the floor, and you're just very gently going to touch it with your toes. So it's all controlled, keeping the hips still, engaging the core. Okay, and then from here we're going to bring our knees into our tummy. This one's kind of quite advanced, but give it a try. And you're going to rock back and you're going to come up into a half boat pose. Then we're going to rock back and you're going to come up and hold into a half boat pose. If you want to make it more advanced, then you can extend the legs and you're going to rock and come up into that boat pose. If you want, you can keep the legs straight throughout and coming up and holding. And we're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Remember, option to keep the legs bent. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one, and then this is the end of the workout. And hold, try and extend the legs if you can. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 2.5, 1. And you're finished. Okay, so you can give your legs a little circle, and that should ease your tummy. And then we're going to go into our very last pose, Savasana, corpse pose. So lying down, getting nice and comfy. Try and straighten the legs if you can. Arms to the side, palms up to the ceiling. Closing your eyes and then just relaxing. And you're just going to focus on your breath, breathing in through your nose. And then breathing out through your mouth. And just every time you breathe out, you're going to relax a bit deeper into the ground. So breathing in, breathing out, letting the floor just take your weight and just melting into the floor. Breathing in and relaxing and melting deeper into the floor. So you can stay in this pose for a bit longer, and I highly recommend staying in this pose for a little bit longer. And then when you're finished, you're going to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and get some movement back into your body. Bend your knees and bring your feet in towards your butt. And then rolling over onto one side, opening your eyes, and then coming back up to seated. So that is the end of this beginner's workout. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want a little bit more, then look out for more videos, or why not replay and repeat the workout. Entirely up to you. If you like the workout, like, comment and share. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube, or you're part of the private Facebook group, so then you have access to all the workouts, all for free. If you enjoy it, why not get a friend to do the workout alongside you? You can FaceTime each other or do a Zoom call, and work out together at the same time. Thank you for doing the workout. Have a great day, great evening, whatever you are up to, and I will see you soon with some more workouts. Take care. Goodbye.